everyone. I'm Tammy Reese with Tales from the Media here at New Jersey HorrorCon with Jamison Newlander, who plays Alan Frog in the Lost Boys iconic film. I'm so excited to chat with you about it. Growing up off the Lost Boys, I absolutely love the film. What made you want to be a part of it?
So, like when I was an actor as a teenager, this was this kind of movie, like everybody in town auditioned for this movie, So it was like, first of all, an honor to even be asked to audition, and then getting the role, there was no way I couldn't do it. It was just such a good group of people, group of actors. Joel Schumacher was a good friend of my acting teacher, so it was just seemed like a good natural fit, and it was all kind of magical from there. You know what I mean?
Your character worked in a comic book store, and you had so much knowledge about vampires. What else would you say would describe Alan Frog?
What else? You mean beyond vampires and comic books? That's interesting. That's a good question. It's like I've been with this character for a long time because we did the sequels as well, and so I had to think about it. And I would say that, something that might be a little bit of a spoiler for the third one, but is that Alan Frog's into taxidermy. Yeah, sort of taking the blood from animals and, kind of like Grandpa did in the first one. So a little bit of stuff there.
Why do you think the Lost Boys is still iconic to this day? I love the soundtrack, I love the script, I love the cast. What else do you think makes the Lost Boys just so beloved in 2024?
So, that's a great question, and I've thought about this a lot because when we do these panels and stuff, people ask this. Audience members are sort of, it's the same thing. It's overwhelmed by how even in this day, and 38 years later, people are loving it. I think that it has to do with the fact that Joel Schumacher didn't want to just make a vampire movie. He wanted to make a movie that was universal, that it was about family and brotherhood and about being a teenager, And so I think that's what it is. It's he hit on these themes and these ways of expressing these themes that we all can kind of relate to, and I think that's what it is. I think that's the longevity.
Are you still in touch with any of the cast members, either personally or when you're doing other conventions?
Yeah, I see them. I see a lot of them. A lot of these guys at conventions, which is great. It's like a reunion for all of us every time we do these things. And then actually, Corey Feldman and I live not too far from each other, and he used to have a poker game every week with. I did it. Some other actors you might have recognized from 80s movies and things like that. We would do it, and it was just a lot of fun. He's a good guy. He's in the press and everything. He's out there, and he's really big personality. But he's also he's been a friend for a long time. We've known each other since we were 15. And so he's a good friend. He's a really nice guy. He's a sweet guy. And Jason Patrick also. I've been starting to be good friends with Jason Patrick because he's doing these conventions. So I'm seeing him and what a great guy. He's like an older brother to me, kind of. You know what I mean?
Amazing, legendary actor as well. To new generations that come across the Lost Boys, what would you like to tell them they should brace themselves for if they've never seen it before?
So this is one of the more chill horror movies, So if you're someone who doesn't have the stomach for, serious horror, this has got only a little bit of that and some comedy, and it's about brotherhood a lot. It's we got the brotherhood of the vampires, the brotherhood of the Emerson brothers, Corey Haim and Jason Patrick, and then we got the Frog brothers. There's a lot of groups of brothers about family and stuff. So I think be braced for the fact that you might even shed a tear, you might feel something for these people who become vampires,
I agree wholeheartedly. Jamison, what are you working on right now?
So I got a bunch of things. I kind of went back to acting. I was acting in theater for a long time in New York, and it sort of my film career, didn't advance for a number of years. And around Lost Boys 3, Lost Boys: The Thirst, which is, I guess, almost 15 years ago now, I started doing some more acting roles. So I've been doing a bunch of things like that. I have a film coming out called Mr. Manhattan next month. Thank you. And I'm doing this show. Actually, I have a poster for it. It's I'm going up to the Santa Cruz locations of Lost Boys, and like, you know, this is on, that's the boardwalk, like current present day, those colors and everything. Yeah. And so checking out the old locations and like talking about them and bringing on other cast members and stuff, we found the frog dad, the guy who's behind us in the comic book store, you know, our parents who are behind us. We found this guy, and he was on our show, and he's been in Santa Cruz the whole time, you know. So like just finding hidden gems like that. It's check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. It's really cool, you know.
I must say it's an honor to meet you. Growing up, just loving horror. The Lost Boys is definitely one of my favorites, and also the movie got me loving The Doors.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a nice little callback for The Doors. It worked out that Jason looked like Jim Morrison a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Which I think must have been accidental. I can't imagine that they're casting for a Jim Morrison lookalike, you know. But he has that same sort of like fierce good looks, you know, of Jim Morrison, and so yeah, I think that probably is what brought them to use that song, to use People Are Strange. I remember watching the trailer, you know. It's like I was in this movie, but I hadn't seen the trailer yet, you know, and that song was playing, People Are Strange was playing, and I didn't really know the Doors before that. I mean, I knew who they were, but I didn't love them. So that's what happened to you.
Yes.
That's great.
Thank you again, Jamison. So nice to meet you. Enjoy HorrorCon.
Definitely. Thanks a lot. Good to talk to you all.